Hi, I'm Mauricio, and I'm gonna defend on self-driving cars. The future. We always been improving and changing, even when the past that we have created had many falls and downs that did harm. We're here to prove that we can make something more easier for the public, especially for people like me and others that have disabilities or the fear of driving a car, but we still love the enjoyment of going to places with the ability without needing a train or a bus or other transportations you have to pay for when you should try to do it yourself. It gives us more of the freedom. And not just that, it also encouraged the whole idea of, going to places in a camper. And I already seen it before where somebody literally reconstruct an old SUV into a knockoff Tesla, which is really crazy. And when I say knockoff, he literally put the ends and the stops with all the designs, but not just that, he also even installed a tablet and so on into the car steering, the control, the gears and so on, so it could be self-driving. He even showed a prototype where it was driving circles in the parking lot on its own. It's really crazy how far we're going. And heck, I even have a cousin, not really my cousin, more my cousin's cousin. His name is Nathan. He's really good at what he's doing, and he already learned how to make a motorcycle self-driving already by figuring out a class that he took from colleges. It's really cool how far we've gone with this. But there's going to be stops and ends with this. But one thing for sure is that it is the best thing we're coming to and what we're reaching to because we need a form of transportation for those who have troubles just like me. But at the same time, we need to find a new form of licensing and controlling. Kind of like how, for example, a gun's license, you need to reach the certain age or responsibility or the skills. Because more times we need to understand what we're doing. You still have people get things without doing that, and we need to fix that. But we're here first to improve, driving without needing to do it. We need to find a way. We need to improve it. And we already have examples and showcases and other stuff that can provide for the public to understand from those prototypes to the fully complete products on the go. But there is going to be still a bunch of stops and roads, especially when people don't understand the difficulties and the controls. One thing for sure, we're all human. We can't make something perfect because if we did, I don't know what would happen. But one thing for sure is that we are improving and we have gone the miles to the places we want to go to and around the places we want to be in. After all, I'm thinking of getting myself an Omni so I can actually play in the games while moving instead of using like some little tracking thing that can only stay me in a certain area when I could actually have something that makes me move in that area. And we need the idea of having self-driving cars. They're really cool. They're really amazing, but they are controversial in the situations, just like how back in the 1800s when it started becoming the industrial age, and then when we finally reached into the between centuries where cars were becoming a public transportation and manufacture, we got people start using them more often when we needed it to. And the problem is that it led more problems where people still know that there's danger out there, and the danger is, those who don't know how to take responsibility with it. It's the same thing as a gun. The only thing different is the gun the gun can be stopped. A car cannot. It's always going to be moving. You can have a hard brake, but it's just like the trains, for example. You could literally be in front of a train and you could hear it braking from a distance, but it's still going to slide and it's going to hit you. So what we need to do is improve and learn what we can manufacture. We can improve the brakes, we can change the tires, we can improve that. But we also need to understand how can we make this easy for the community to reach. After all, there's more old cars than new cars, and the new cars cost more expensive resources and materials, which increases more pollution in the first place. It's best to try to reuse the old cars that we already have and improve them into more efficiency for the public. And after all, we still use old fuel because it's cheaper and easier, and still it it might be a limited amount, but it's not a constant limit. Because if it was really constant limit, that means we wouldn't have any more of it. But there's always going to be a way of resources to be retrieved and continued. But we need that, and we need to improve from that. And so this is why, if we could use old stuff with new things to improve the self-driving car, we could let everybody in the community, especially with old people who want to go to places but still have a hard time functioning in society, especially when they're slow or their memory loss or other problems that might lead them in the future, or people like me who have disabilities or fears that involve with cars. So when we reach that point, we reach that goal, and we can enjoy everything about the self-driving car.